We are Blackboard. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Today, Michael Fulmer will gun for his fourth win of the season. Tigers trying to win a series here, the final game of this four-game set featuring the Tigers and the Texas Rangers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Kirk Gibson. Glad to have you with us. Final game of the series, Michael Fulmer. Gibby takes them out today. And for Fulmer, the first two times through the lineup, no problem. It's that third time through, hopefully a better outcome today.
Well, you know, he's just way too good to not have any more wins than he does. I think the Tigers have lost 6 of his last 7. But you look at the OPS, it doesn't lie. 644 the first time through, 658 the second, and then 944 OPS on the third time through. Now, what are your choices? Do you start yanking him the third time through? Many clubs do that. The Tigers, I noticed Ron Gardner left him in last time. Nobody was warming up in the bullpen. So, Gardy just says he's just got to clear his head. He's better than anything we got in the bullpen, and it's something that he will grow out of.
All right, Nico Goodrum, we know, has grown into a good major league player. Nico, another 4-hit game in the ball game yesterday. He's had a couple of those now here in the month of July. He has been the total package for the Tigers.
Well, he came over as kind of a utility guy playing all around the diamond. Now we find him at second base, and what we're finding out, he's a pretty darn good player. And he continues to impress the more time he gets. He loves to hit that baseball. He loves to run those bases, and he's playing Gardy ball. But he's got great extension in the 2 4-hit games. When he gets on, he just goes right away, very aggressive. He's very confident in that. But Gardy, the thing about what Gardy likes is his aggressiveness, the way he rounds that bag right there. There's never a doubt he's making the base coach stop him. This is just like little needly stuff that's really finite. This is just a secondary. Look how he never stops. I love that stuff, but this is how you win championships. This is how you're just barely there or barely out. So overall, been a very aggressive player. He's making the most of his opportunity, and he's in the lineup again today for the Tigers.
All right, Tigers trying to win the series finale here today. After a short break, we'll go to the Coliseum Studios, check in with Mickey York. Coming up this afternoon, the Tigers will hit the road after this one. They can win 3 out of 4 with a win today. Tigers, Texas, it's all coming up next.
Coliseum Studio. Tigers and Rangers game 4 coming up here shortly, but at 7 o'clock tonight, Major League Baseball will announce its all-star selections. Nicholas Castellanos is hoping to hear his name called for the first time after what was a very deserving first half of the season, but we won't hear a lot from Nick this afternoon because he's been a late scratch from the lineup with a sore left wrist. So it'll be up to a guy named Jacoby Jones to bring the noise this afternoon. He's done that recently by giving and taking away home runs. Jacoby begins his patrol of center field next on Fox Sports Detroit.
The Rangers wrap up this 4-game series. Michael Fulmer is on the mound for the Tigers today, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Well, 3-7. Michael's probably deserves better than that, and we know he's got a golden arm, and there's a lot of interest in him right now. But he's had a couple big innings, third time through the order. He's going to try and correct that today. And one suggestion, if he can get it on the ground, is when he gets ground balls, he gets outs.
Here is the starting lineup for the Rangers today that Fulmer will face. Shin-Soo Choo will lead things off, followed by Profar and then Mazzara. Beltre is playing third base, batting cleanup. Odor is at second, followed by Gallo. At a bottom three of Connor Falefa, Guzman, and Tochi. That is presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defense today. Mikey Matuk in left field, Jacoby Jones, and then Victor Reyes in right field today. You got Candelario, Iglesias, Goodrum, and Hicks on the infield. Michael Fulmer's thrown to James McCann today.
Shin-Soo Choo will get things started here for the Rangers. Be careful to him. He's had a pretty good series, been very aggressive at the plate.
Especially first time up, first pitch, huh?
Indeed, he is homered. He has doubled a couple of times. And now Fulmer goes to work. The first pitch is outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
And I think the Tigers have started him off with fastballs every game so far this series. That's consistent with around Major League Baseball. For Michael Fulmer, you say, well, this guy hits a fastball, but how many guys got 96, 97 right out of the gate? Not many. That's why Michael's going with his strength against Choo's strength.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Choo sends a ground ball to the right side. It'll be gobbled up by Goodrum. And they'll keep the leadoff man off the bases. 1 gone. Umpires today, Jerry Meals down at third base. He is your crew chief. Chris Siegel is behind the dish, calling balls and strikes. Hickox and Morales round out the crew. Here is Jurickson Profar batting in the 2 slot today for the Rangers. Profar a 7-game hitting streak right now for Texas. He has scored 3 times in the series. Tigers winning the middle 2 games in the series after dropping the opener. A chance to grab 3 out of 4 in this set. Now the 0-1. Tigers without their big bat today. Nick Castellanos with a sore wrist, so he will get the day off. Jim Adducci replaces him in the lineup. Chopped to first base, foul.
Going into today, Nick's played 88 out of 91 games, so you get a little thing like this popping up. You probably don't want to let it get out of hand. You want to put it in a position where the trainers can still deal with it, doesn't get too inflamed. And it also gives Victor Reyes another opportunity to play as well.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Driven high in the air and deep to right field. Reyes going back to the track, to the wall, and gone. Jurickson Profar has just hit his 9th of the year, and the Rangers have a 1-0 lead.
Just a slider doesn't do too much. I think 88 miles an hour around there, and Profar on time into the seats. See, they wanted it down and in, it looked like, and that one's just down over the heart. There you see the grip. Profar likes that ball down out over the plate. Tigers down 1-0.
Fulmer allows his 12th home run of the year, second only to Mike Fiers on the squad. Now Mazzaro looks at a ball low. Well, a couple of nights ago, Zim gave up the leadoff home run to Choo. It was all Tigers after that.
Shut him down.
The 1-0 slides inside and low. 2-0 on Mazzara.
You can see Michael a little irritated out there in the mound after giving that up. It's can't get too frustrated. Got to just, it's 1-0 in the top of the first. Just try and get yourself back on track, much the same you would as you came out here just a couple of minutes ago to start the game. So much of this game is controlling your emotions, not just as pitcher, but everywhere in the diamond, in the dugout.
3-0 is ball 4. He missed on 4 straight to Mazzara.
Take a look at the weather today. It's beautiful again, 79 degrees. A little more humidity today. Wind right to left at 5. Really no factor there. The sun could be, though. Anybody that doesn't have their glasses on the field may be in trouble. They're hitting a fly ball up into that sun.
Not a cloud in the sky here this afternoon. Here's Adrian Beltre. Swing and a miss, 0-1 on the veteran Beltre. who had a home run robbed from Jacoby Jones in the game yesterday. Beltre in the series just 1 for 12. Here is Fulmer's 0-1. Fouled off, 0-2.
Mazzaro over there at first base does have 5 steals. Been caught 5 times, so if you just pay a little bit of attention, it will not be a factor. If you forget, though, he may sneak attack you. Good hold. Look at Michael when he came set right here. He just takes it, and that's what I'm talking about. Just let him know that you're not just going to come set and go, so he can time you and get a good jump. Because he's not fast enough to make it if you do that.
That'll dart low and away, 1-2 on Beltre. Tigers scored 7 in the first yesterday and cruised to the win. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Little chopper toward third base, foul, banged it off his foot.
Now, one of the things that Rick Anderson has tried to instill in this staff since he's taken over is to not nibble after you get 2 strikes, but to go right after him, try and induce soft contact with quality pitches. Andy's philosophy, Gardy was telling us today, that may be Chris Bosio maybe thinking you could get outside the strike zone and induce weak swings and balls out of the zone.
Or as it was termed, dancing around the plate.
Yeah.
And they're trying to cut that down and put guys into attack mode. 1-2 on Beltre. Of the 12 home runs that Fulmer has allowed this year now, 9 of them have been to left-handed bats. And that is low. Run the count level now. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Beltre. Waiting on Tech, Rougned Odor. He's got some pop as well.
Get that ground ball right here.
Got him, strike 3, and Beltre punched out. He's going to have a little confab now with Chris Siegel about that last call.
Well, let's take a look at the at bat. All the pitches, working that ball up in the zone. You can see the breaking ball, and then he gets the fastball away. It looked like Beltre got caught looking for something with a wrinkle in it. Ball's right on the outside corner, and he gets the call.
So with 2 outs now, here is Rougned Odor. Odor homered to the ball game yesterday. 2 out of 10 in the series.
Let's take a look at our umpire report. Ranks 9th among umpires in strikeouts per 9 this season. Left-handed batters strict strikes on the right. He calls the low strikes at a very high rate, and that's what he might have just got done witnessing with Mr. Beltre. But he'll be consistent. I was watching Cardinals Braves a week ago. He was behind the plate, and he wasn't very consistent. But you just hope that anybody back there remains consistent, so you know what you got to swing at.
Jones will camp under this one. Odor is out, and so are the Rangers. They get a run on the Profar homer. Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, and for the Tigers today, it'll be Jones, Candelario, and Goodrum at the top. Hicks batting cleanup, then Aducey and Matuk, and your bottom three is McCann, Iglesias, and Reyes. And they are facing Austin Bivens Dirks, who is presented by MGM Grand Detroit.
Possesses the highest line drive rate of any starter in the AL with at least 25 innings pitched. That's 30%. Throws a lot of first pitch strikes, and it's very hittable. 354 batting average against that pitch. Cutter and changeup is his out pitch. Throws that cutter for strikes. There's 65%. Changeup 75%. So those are his out pitches, and Tigers will have to make an adjust. You want to stay where you're at in the box. You want to make an adjustment. We'll watch as the game progresses.
Jacoby leads it off, and he cues one foul. The count is 0-2 on Jones. Candelario and Goodrum here in the bottom of the Tigers first. Jacoby now at 200 on the year, 7 home runs. Jones on base 3 times in yesterday's win. That'll bounce low and away, 1-2. Jones maybe had the biggest at bat in that 7-run first inning. His fly ball to center field knuckled on DeShields. It went as an error that scored 3 runs, and the Tigers blew it open and coasted to the win yesterday. Here's the 1-2.
Trying to get him to chase right here. See the breaking ball off the plate. Jacoby's been susceptible to that pitch, so it's something that you have to learn how to 2-strike hit as a young player. Jacoby's working on it. Now you're going to go to the fastball.
Slice to right field, shallow, and it's going to drop. Base hit. Leadoff single for Jones.
Let's take a look at the Rangers starting defense. Starting in the outfield, Joey Gallo, and left again Carlos Tochi. In center field, Nomar Mazara. Right field, Beltre, Profar, Order, and Guzman on the infield. Kiner Falefa catching Austin Bivens Dirks. You know Jacoby's going to want to run here.
Candelario looks at ball 1.
Pretty quick to the plate.
Jones has 7 steals this year. He'll be chased back. Got to get Jamer going. He has been in a bit of a funk. He is 0 for his last 13. Candelario had a couple of days off given to him by Ron Gardner to try and reset. When he is on, we know what he can do. He will grind down a pitcher. He can hit with power, drive in runs. Ooh, very close, and Jones just got back.
They're going to look at that. We'll look at it as well. Quick move. Looked like he was going there. Pretty close. They're going to forego the challenge, though. Jacoby gets one of the biggest leads on the team. Got to stay at that back corner.
Checked it. Strike called. 1-1.
It's about a 1.1 second from the time Bivens Dirks moves to the time the ball hits the catcher's glove. I say generally you need at least a 1-2 for Jacoby. 1-3 is even better.
One and two now on Candelario. Jamer at 231 with 12 home runs.
Now I'm watching this area here. It seems to be the first thing that moves. See how quick that came over there? He's got a quick hip there. And it looks like his fastest moves is when he's coming down on his stretch. So this is kind of what you do. You kind of eliminate when that quick throw is coming over here. So usually it's up. Now when he's coming down is when he throws quick. Once he comes set, let's see.
Runner goes, big jump, throw down to second. Tag waiting though, and out at second is Jones. 2-6 on the caught stealing.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. He was quick to the plate. And a real good throw. Had about a 305, 310 to the combination. Was that like a pitch out?
It almost appeared to be a semi pitch out there. The throw by Connor Falefa was right on the money.
You usually want about 3.3 seconds. I got that about 3.1. So good job by the Rangers there. Tigers are going to try to push the issue. Sometimes they make good plays on you. Stay aggressive.
3-2 now on Candelario. There goes the bat, swing and a miss all the way down to Guzman at first base. 2 away.
We're going to take a look at that. Watch, does he come out a little early on the, it's like the modified pitch out there. Go watch, it's off to the outside. Look how quick he comes out of here. They got the job done.
Yeah, not a bad throw for Connor Falefa, who just took over as the backup catcher last month. Nico grounds it foul.
That was a really good slide by Jacoby as well, but they just had him. You're a base stealer, you hate that. Ugh.
Goodrum batting in the 3 slot today. This is his 4th start, batting 3rd. He'll fly this one in the air to center field. Tochi is under it, and that'll take care of the Tigers here in the 1st. Hill. He's got Joey Gallo to stand in. Gallo, Connor Falefa, and Guzman. Home run by Profar in the 1st, the difference so far. Gallo batting 190, but 21 home runs this year. He's knocked in 48 and hit a long one in game 1 in the series a few nights back here. He'll look at a ball high, and the count goes 2-0.
Looks like they're trying to throw him up in the zone with velocity.
Swing and a miss. Gallo is 1 for 7 in the series, on pace for better than 200 strikeouts, but he walks a bunch and he hits a bunch of homers. Swing and a miss, 2-2 now on Gallo. Infield has him played to pull. Now Fulmer is 2-2. Full count. Long look by Michael, now the 3-2, and he will step out. Fulmer in his last 5 starts has walked only 6 batters against 30 strikeouts. So he has kept the base on balls at a minimum. And he's picked up a walk here. His second of the game. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. And by Jeep. See your Jeep dealer today and experience the freedom that comes with legendary capability. What a spectacular day at Comerica Park here this afternoon. Tigers wrapping up a short homestand. There's a strike called on Isaiah Kiner-Falefa.
Michael very frustrated after the walk. Thinking back when he's thrown his best games and gotten on a roll, he really rolled with the strikes, throwing them where he wanted to.
Right back up the middle into center field. That is a base hit. Gallo will go to second and stop there. And the Rangers now have 2 on, nobody out.
This Kiner-Falefa is a good player everywhere he plays. He's got a big leg kick. Just takes it right up the middle, doesn't try to do too much with it. Scrappy.
Here is another Ranger that has a little bit of power, Ronald Guzman. He has homered in the series and has 8 for the year. Early jam now for Fulmer. Guzman, big lanky left-handed batter. Strike 1 on the outer edge.
You know, ground balls are good. That ground ball right up the middle, really can't control it totally. Try and get the grounder and hope somebody's there to field it. Didn't work out. So now he needs to get another one here and get that DP.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count on Guzman.
You're looking for swing and miss stuff or ground ball stuff. There's his changeup. You see him turn it over. Keep it down there. That was unhittable.
Slap to left field is going to drop, base hit. They're going to try and score the run. Ball is bobbled in left by Matuk, so the run will score. A little soft serve out to left with 2 strikes for Guzman, and it's 2-0 Rangers.
Well, it's pretty good 2-strike hitting right here. He doesn't even swing the bat. He almost plays Pepper over Candy said. Look at this. He just doesn't really even swing.
And that's got to be frustrating for Fulmer.
Yes, it is. I think maybe got to mix them up with the inside part of the plate. Establish in, they won't be leaning out over the plate like that.
Here's Carlos Tocci. Still nobody out. 2 on for the Rangers, a run in. Bunted. Third base side. Fulmer, quick throw is going to hit the runner.
Right in the head.
Coming to home plate and scoring. And now they're going to send the runners back.
Because he's going to say he was inside the line.
Yep. Tocci was inside the line. They've called him out.
That throw was up to the line as well. We'll get a good look from this view right here. Supposed to be outside. He called it right away. Looked like the throw was way up the line to me. Nevertheless, they made the call. I don't know if they can reverse this or not.
Yeah, I would agree. It seemed way up the line. Tochi really laid down a nice bunt. But you could tell out of the box he was inside the baseline as he was running out of the batter's box.
All right-handed hitters are inside the baseline, but if you look as he gets close to first base, it's, you know, you're gonna go towards the base more. We could stop it almost and see where he is.
Kiner Falefa came around to score on the play.
See, the throw is up into the base runner. I don't think he's going to win it, but he may not get to see the rest of the game either.
Oh, right in the back of the helmet. So Bannister has given up the argument.
Now that's not replayable, I don't believe, but should be. Works out good for the Tigers. We'll take it. In the throws, you see the ump right away. He's going to make the call. He's got the best view.
So it's ruled out on interference. The putout goes 1-3 on the play. And now we get the ejection.
Yeah.
And here comes Bannister now that he's been tossed out.
I called that. Because there's really, that's frustrating. Keep the mics down now, huh?
Yeah, it's probably going to get a little bit heated right now.
Well, as a manager, it's hard to keep your mouth shut. I mean, honestly, it's a great call for us with the Tigers. But if you're in Bannister's shoes, you're Texas, you don't feel like you've got the proper call, and you're going to be frustrated with that. It's just, you walk over there, you've had your explanation, you go to the dugout, you tell yourself to keep quiet, and then all of a sudden it just slips out. That one last word
gets you wrong.
Kind of like when you were young and your parents got you, right?
Mm-hmm. It's always that last word that gets you.
Just can't stop it.
And Bannister's going to take all the time he can right now and just let Jerry Meals know he is not happy.
Yeah, well, Jerry Meals is the crew chief, so this is kind of, we talk about teamwork. This is how the umpires do the teamwork thing. He got him away from Seagal.
So Bannister has been ejected from this game.
Tigers got a break there. That's good. No one can make the best of it.
There's Don Wakamatsu. He will take over the reins now as the bench coach. Here is Shin-Soo Choo. He swings and misses.
Wakamatsu, he's managed quite a few games in his career.
Yeah, very experienced and veteran baseball man who's been at all levels. 0-1 on Choo. One ball and one strike. First in advantage belongs to Fulmer in this matchup. 0 for 8 is Choo against Fulmer.
Pound him inside. Looks like he's really swinging at the ball away well.
Way outside. Well, a huge play in this inning because really the bunt by Tochi was a really good bunt.
Yeah, it could have been bases loaded, nobody out, with one run in.
Now the 2-1 to Choo. Swing and a miss.
Good slider right there.
Profire waiting on deck. Still only one out in the inning. A run in for Texas. Shoe sends a ground ball right side under the glove of the first baseman Hicks, and another run will score. What appeared to be a routine play, Hicks tried to backhand it. It scooted right under the glove.
A lot of topspin on this ball. Hicks got caught in his drop step. Look, he sees it, he reads it. That's kind of a late move. You either got to come get it or it hit something in the dirt and stayed down. Did you see that? Did not come up at all.
Did not come up in the least. That'll be an error, though. E3, and now a 3-0 Texas lead. It'll bring up Profar. Turning into a wacky inning.
Yes, it is.
Profar homered in the first. So Fulmer right now has to battle the frustrations that can come along with the start. He has seen an 0-2 pitch just slapped out to left field by Guzman to drive in a run. A routine ground ball, flatten out and go into right field to score another. Profar waits on the 0-1.
Trying to figure out it just, I don't see any fastballs inside part of the plate. I'm a proponent of that, especially with an arm like Michael has. But everything's been away.
Way up top.
Very frustrated, you can tell. Got to find a way to reverse it.
Fulmer now is up to 40 pitches. Here's the 2-1. 2-2 on Profar. Michael came into this game with a much better ERA during day games. He's been dominant during the day. 2.67. His nighttime ERA is almost 8. He's got a little bit of bad luck in this inning with an error and a bloop single. Now Profar given time as Fulmer takes too long.
Profar likes the ball down and out over the plate, just like the home run that he hit.
Out time again. There was a time when Jurickson Profar was considered the best prospect in all of baseball. That was back in 2013. He was rated #1 overall.
Isn't that amazing how you got to let it play out, don't you?
You do. Injuries can certainly derail the course. Foul back. You can see the talent and the skill in this young man. He's got some pop. He has 9 homers now on the season.
Switch hitter.
Ground ball toward third. Nice backhanded play. And Candelario throws him out. Two away. The runners move up.
Look at this replay on this. He threw it inside and Profar hits it the other way. Look at this. Just that's a great 2-strike approach, and this is a hard play. When you're expecting, you see the ball in, you're not expecting it to go that way. Good reaction right there to Jamer.
Nomar Mazara now with 2 men in scoring position. Mazara walked in the first inning. Rolled foul, 0-1. In the throes of a 2-for-21 stretch right now, Mazara, but it's been a really good first half. 15 homers, 56 RBIs.
You're James McCann, anything in the dirt, you got to get down quick on it. Second and third. Don't want anybody to score on a pass ball or a wild pitch if you can help it. Get down, get dirty, quick. Cover up all the holes.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Good try, just missed.
.25 in this inning now for Fulmer. Ground ball right side should get him out of the inning. Goodrum will throw wide, but he stayed on the bag to end the inning. 2 runs in for the Rangers. We go to the bottom of the second. Nick Ames, who is the Tigers' 15th round pick in this year's draft, and apparently the Gulf Coast League was no match for Mr. Ames. 5 home runs and 14 RBIs in his last 3 games.
Wow.
I mean, that's tearing it up.
He must be saying this is easy. This college was harder than this.
Exactly. Tigers hitting now in the bottom of the second, down 3-0. John Hicks leads it on. Hicks, Ducey, Mikey Matuk. Low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike on Hicks. It's been a good year for Big John. He's filled in for Miguel Cabrera at first base. He's also caught, having a solid year offensively with 8 home runs. Fouled back out of play, 1-2.
Let's take a look at StatCast, powered by AWS. Punch the numbers in. What does the data say? And this is how the Rangers choose to interpret it. Leaving the middle open. Mr. Hicks likes to hit the ball up the middle. Hopefully they stay the way they are. Yeah, Hicks has been in this is his 63rd game this year. Looking Nico, 71 games. That's probably didn't expect to play that many. Kobe's in 81 of them. Iglesias 87. Nick's 88. Those guys are carrying the heavy load.
Well, Nico certainly has played much more than he ever has in the big leagues. Same with Hicks, who is now crossing the barrier from his numbers of last year. Swing and a miss. He chased. 2 strikeouts for Bivens Dirks. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow, and you'll get yourself a free order of curly fries. One away now for a Ducey. 0-1 on a Ducey. Late addition to the Tigers lineup, Nick Castellanos was going to DH today, but was a late scratch with a bad wrist. And so a Ducey fills in.
So if you're a Ducey, you're sitting there in the clubhouse, and all of a sudden one of the coaches walks up to you and says, "You're in." Probably about 40 minutes to go in the game. What was it, 40 minutes to go in the game?
Probably.
30, we heard.
Yeah.
So put yourself through that.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I mean,
well, it's good that you're in the lineups.
Well, some like to play, but when you get the late call, you would prepare differently, right? If you knew you were playing.
Yeah.
If you got here at 10:30 and the lineup's up and you see your name in the lineup, that's one thing. You know, you're sitting there just relaxing, thinking about pinch hitting, and you're in the game. Usually you got to get dressed real quick, and gives you a little rush. But if you want to play, it's exciting.
1-2 on a Ducey.
Somebody might say Wally Pipp. That name comes up quite a bit in the locker room. You know why, right?
Absolutely. It's the old Wally pipped. He got Wally pipped. That's why a lot of guys want to play hurt.
That means you lost your job.
There's the 1-2. And outside, 2-2 now on the Ducey, who got to the big leagues originally with the Rangers for parts of a couple of years. So facing the team that first got him to the major leagues. Banged foul out of play. 2-2, the count stays.
Ducey protecting. Good hitter.
Rolled foul, hanging tough.
Pretty good foul off right there. A lot of people would swing right over that. Dooch, you look at him, he stays out. Look at that bad angle. He goes right down and gets a piece of it.
Here's the 8th pitch in this at bat. Swing and a miss. He finally got him, and that'll be strikeout number 3 now.
Backdoor cutter.
Tigers host the Red Sox Saturday, July 21st at 6:10. The first 10,000 fans receive a Ron Gardenhire gnome. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER. Visit tigers.com. Gardy's such a good sport.
Yes, he is.
The Ron Gardenhire gnome.
He's feeling a lot better today. You know, he missed the game 2 days ago again. That was but 2 in a row. But he was fired up. He was standing in there with your buddy Dan Dickerson after the media left. And, boy, he was going through a lot of fundamentals that he's committed to instilling in this team. Happy with the way they play, but not clean enough. And he's not going to take really no for an answer as we progress in the future.
How often do you practice the fundamentals once the season starts? We all know that's what spring training is all about, but once you get going during the year, do you have time to practice those?
You do. You don't want to make it as punishment, but you do want them to understand some base running things that they didn't like, relay things. Just, you know, it's got to become first nature. You shouldn't have to be being told over, like the cutoff man. You got to hit it on the glove hand side virtually every time. And there's a technique to do that, and there's ways to practice it. And he's committed to making sure that is the case.
Matuk swings and misses, and Bibbins strikes out the side. He's got 4 of them for the game. We'll go to the third.
Jacoby Jones got on his horse. You see 24.2 feet per second, 98 feet up and over. I think he's 8 feet high right there. Yep. Robbed Adrian Beltre of a home run over the wall. I was impressed that he caught the ball. It was actually over and below the wall. I don't know how he caught it, but good hands, good timing. That cost the Rangers from thinking they were in the game.
You know, it's impressive enough when a guy goes up and catches one before he goes over the wall, but when he actually goes beyond the wall, his hand goes down and he flicks it back up. I mean, those are the really great catches, and Jacoby thrilled the crowd yesterday.
Well, we were sitting here and it was just like, whoa, just is one of those things in your mind. You said that's gone, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Beltre. Fulmer in search of a quick inning. This will be his 50th pitch, so the first two have been a little bit lengthy. He's walked a couple of batters. Here's the 1-2. Got him. And down goes Beltre. Let's bring in Matt Shepard.
All right, Mario, good Sunday afternoon. As you know, tonight, 7 o'clock, the All-Star unveiling will take place. And earlier this season, Matthew Boyd, Joe Jimenez both could have made a case. But in talking with members of the Tigers in that clubhouse, it's unanimous on Nick Castellanos and the people believing that he should be Detroit's All-Star representative. I think you guys would agree, considering his numbers. But not just that. The thing that they respect most about him in his new leadership role is his work ethic. Every single day, coming to work, going about his business. And when I asked Castellanos the same thing, he agreed. He loves the fact that every single day he takes the same approach, so he's not taking anything for granted. But Mario, that outfield all-star opportunity is pretty tight, considering Betts, Trout, Judge, Brantley, Benintendi, Rosario. It's a lot of really impressive names so far on that list. The bigger concern I have is that he's 14th among outfielders in fan voting. I mean, no offense to Brett Gardner. Brett Gardner's got more votes than Nick Castellanos. That's a little disappointing from a Tigers perspective, don't you think?
But he's a Yankee, and I think that's why you see stuff like that happening. I agree with you 100% on that, Shep. But you know, here's the thing about outfielders every year, Gibby. It's probably one of the more difficult positions because of so many guys.
Well, there's 3 positions to fill, and many times you get guys out of position in the actual All-Star game. So you got, what did Jay Up played like right field, or he played left field after being a right fielder, and it's just really what you have to do. And the rules of having to take a representative from every team, I think, complicates things. I've talked to many managers over the complications of being an all-star manager, but certainly one I wouldn't mind dealing with, and I don't think anybody else really does in the end, because it's a cool game, and it's coming up soon, and everybody should enjoy it.
Joey Gallo looks at a strike in the outer edge, 0-2. That Odor bunt is ruled a single off the leg of Michael Fulmer, so he's on now with 1 out.
So let's see. Hicks got an error on a bad hop.
Gallo skies this one toward left center. Matuk is under it.
Tagging.
Runner tags. Odor will bluff, forcing the throw from Mikey. 2 gone. By the way, we invite you to stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game, where we will select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game. It's brought to you by McDonald's. Here's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa.
Falefa had a hit his first at bat, scored a run. He's a very fundamental player, you can tell.
Broken bat, line drive right to third, and caught there by Candelario to end the inning. No runs, an infield hit, and 1 man left. Mark Reynolds had a historic night for the Nationals on Saturday. Mickey York will show you what he did to put himself in some exclusive company next.
Remember your Saturday night, but last night in Washington, 12-year vet Mark Reynolds had one he'll never forget. After recording just 14 RBI all season long, nearly matched that total with a 5-for-5, 2-homer, 10 RBI performance, becoming just the 15th player in Major League history to have at least 10 RBI in a game. The Nationals, by the way, went on to win that game 18-4 over Miami. It is a funny game sometimes, isn't it, Mario Gibby? 10 RBI last night, 14 all season coming into that game from Mark Reynolds.
He was feeling it last night, to be sure. Gibby, what was the biggest RBI game that you had? Do you remember?
No, half of that, maybe 5. But you know, 2 homer games are kind of like cool like that. But you know, Mark Reynolds felt considerably different when he went to the park this morning than he did yesterday.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
It's a confidence thing. That's why when you look at the numbers, you know, you look at the total number of RBI, but reality of it is you're looking for consistent contact and ability to drive runs. And Mark Reynolds has really had a good career. I had him down in Arizona way back 2011. But he swings and misses a lot, and he's learned how to improve on that. And the 10 RBIs is proof of that. And we got a lead up single.
And McCann is aboard after falling behind. That'll bring up Iglesias.
Well, Simo was talking about how McCann's been working with Lloyd McClendon and Phil Clark down there, and not so good yesterday. Game before that, very good. Had the 2-run homer. And today, off with a good start. When you're a coach, that's what you just hope for, validation of the hard work. And James coming around.
What a great day here to spend at the ballpark. Temperature in the 70s at game time. Clear skies. Now the 1-0. Instead, he'll go back to first.
Now Texas is thinking hit and run right here. Look at Iglesias looking down at the third base coach, Dave Clark. He's perfect. I mean, he only swings and misses about 6% of the time. That's right up there and one of the best in the big leagues.
You know, we've talked because Iglesias has really turned it on and did actually in the month of June, the Tigers Player of the Month, and maybe there should be consideration to moving him toward the top of the lineup, but he's been so good at the bottom. How do you view that as a former manager when you've got a guy that has kind of settled into a position but has skills to bat actually higher in the lineup?
I think that the manager knows through communication that this is the spot for him. I don't really think Iggy wants to be up there. I think he's comfortable down there. He's hit there a while, and it's the right spot for him in this lineup right here.
The 1-1 pulled a third foul. By the way, we did some digging.
5 or 6.
7.
Who was that again?
You had a 7 RBI game against the Angels on June 11th of '94.
Wow, this old man then.
Well, you hit 2 homers. Not bad for an old man. 2 out of 5 with 2 homers.
Well, get lucky now and then. That's why he keeps swinging.
Here's the 1-2. Chop to the shortstop, should be 2. Profar, Odor, and a double play. 6-4-3. Today, American military personnel serving overseas are watching this game on AFN, the American Forces Network. Welcome to those in countries around the world, aboard naval ships at sea, and as always, we thank you for your service.
-2.
Yeah, the double plays are killers in Ram Pick the Stick. But you have time to rebound in Ram Pick the Stick.
Definitely.
Here's Reyes, and he'll look at a ball low and away.
But thing is, that was part of my strategy, and it just backfired, and you're just loving it.
I am not loving it. I know how you feel. I've been in a terrible slump. Terrible slump.
So you ended up with Nico, right?
I did.
So you're clean so far.
Clean so far, 0 for 1.
And who took Hicks? Rod?
I believe so. 1 ball, 1 strike on Reyes.
Well, listen to this right here.
Ooh.
That's a solid hit.
That just sounds so bad.
Did you hear that?
No.
Catcher says, Falefa says, "You okay?" He goes, "Yeah, good." He just got pounded.
Shallow left field. It's going to be caught there by Gallo, and that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit. Nobody left. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
first inning to jerk some profile. Gets frustrated, then he gives a couple of walks, and you can just see the body language. This kid wants to win so bad. Let me get a little bunt right here. He had the bunt problem, and you could just see on his face, you know, when you're kind of like slumping or you're not living up to your own expectations, you come to the park so positive, but when things happen that are negative, it seems like it has more effect on you. Until you get, here's the bunt right here. Again, he has every intention, just things aren't falling into place for him, but he's got to keep grinding. He's got good teammates behind him. He's got a good coaching staff, and as bad as it seems right now, down 3-0. Tigers stop the Rangers this inning, come back with a couple runs, and things are looking up.
Guzman leading it off for the Rangers. RBI single in the 2-run second. Almost hit him.
Like that pitch. Come right back in there. A lot of calling timeout,
Yeah.
Michael, because he's really speeded up his pace this year. And he's almost a second quicker than he was last year. Last year he was 24.4 seconds. Now he's 22.3 this season. So that's 3 minutes per game. Till you're seeing the Rangers prepared to slow him down and calling timeout.
Now it's gone 2-2 on Guzman. Pitch count was up early on Mr. Fulmer. Tigers have been so good and going deep in games now the last week and a half. In fact, 9 of their last 10 starts, 6 or more innings. That's where they want to get this starting staff to, deeper in the games in the 7th, 8th, and beyond.
Then you have the end of the month looming for all the starters.
Down he goes,
Yeah, boy.
and Guzman is out of there. Third strikeout for Fulmer. Purchase select seats to any Tigers home game from now until July 31st, and you'll be entered to win Cabrera and Fulmer autographed memorabilia, a summer fantasy camp, dinner in the Champions Club, and more in the Bringing You Summer Sweepstakes. Go to tigers.com/sweepstakes for more information. Restrictions do apply. 0-1 on Carlos Tocci. Called out on interference in his last at bat. Ripped foul.
I see somebody down there in the camera. Well, what do you got?
Simo?
Hey.
Hey.
How you guys doing today?
What do you got so far in Fulmer?
Well, the Texas Rangers are making Fulmer work, guys. I mean, they're really fouling off some good pitches, and the defense got to make some plays behind them as well.
0-2 on Tocci.
Now we were talking about looks a little bit frustrated, Simo. Do you ever remember being in a bad period, at least in your mind, and how hard it was to dig out?
How often? I mean, that seemed to be all the time, Gibby. This game can be very frustrating, especially when you put in the hard work. And then you go into the game and it just doesn't pay off.
Yeah, looking for a break. And not that we should talk about this too much, but there are a lot of scouts in the stands everywhere that every player goes this time of the year.
What kind of an effect do you guys think that has? I mean, Fulmer knows what's going on. He knows scouts are looking at him. He would prefer to stay with the Tigers. And Alavila has said that, you know, if we get our socks knocked off, then we'll think about it. But when you see all the scouts at all of your starts this time of the year, it's got to have some effect, I would think.
I don't think he probably is looking at the scouts now, but there's a conversation that goes on in the outfield or somewhere. Don't you think, Simo?
Yes, absolutely. But I think you as a player, you just have to control the things that you can control. And when you get caught up worrying about all the other things that doesn't allow it, for me, it doesn't allow you to have success.
Got him, strike 3. Tocci caught looking, and strikeout number 4 now for Mike.
So far, good inning going on right now. Let's take a look at pitch by pitch. I like the fastball inside, up and in, by the way, and then he gets one on the outside corner. Maybe Tochi's looking in, but he gets it away and he just freezes. I think there's a couple of scouts right there. They're easy to pick out at every stadium. Guys love baseball, love the game.
Fly ball in the air toward left center field. Ball hit pretty good, going to the wall and run down there by Matuk. 1-2-3 inning. Jacoby Jones has some great advice for young athletes. We hear from the Tigers outfielder when we come back.
If you can play all positions, I mean, do it. That's what I did when I was growing up. So it worked out. I mean, I'm playing a lot of positions now. Through the minor leagues, I play a lot of positions. In the big leagues, I've played a little bit. So just play every position you can, play every sport you can. Just be an athlete.
Well, I would imagine, guys, there is literally no downside to being able to play multiple positions like Jones has as a professional. Jacoby leading it off here as we play in the fourth inning. That'll miss outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, so many, I guess, coaches promote a single sport at an earlier age now. When I think over most of the time, most played at least 2 sports. Many played 3. And they're getting so specialized nowadays, and I think they're missing something by not playing all sports. I think everything that you do, coordination-wise and understanding how to operate as a teammate within that given game, it'll make you better at whatever you choose to do. And Jacoby, that's really what he's saying. As a parent, it's pretty hard to go against it, because if you don't kind of adhere to the program or the rules, you're out. And you want your kid to have a chance. I would suggest, though, that there's a way to let your child play more than one sport and still realize his opportunity to its greatest extent later in life.
Swing and a miss. Jones goes down. Simo, you on board with that?
Absolutely. I think it's important to play multiple sports. I mean, again, it makes you better. I think it makes you better. You use different muscles. And then the competition. The ability to slow the game down, no matter if it's football, basketball, baseball. You need that exposure. You need those battles to be, whatever sport you decide to play, to be a better player.
That's not to say, you know, I don't know, when you get in high school at some point that you don't, later in high school you don't start to pick, but I know a lot of people that have played different sports and gotten something out of each thing that they've done. And to just grind somebody into one sport, I think it gets not as much fun. You know, you got to have a break.
Now they go one. Well, Gibby, obviously, when you got to college, you played multiple sports. You were a star in football and also played, obviously, baseball and then made it to the big leagues. But, you know, what were some of the things that football taught you?
Well, you know what? I only played 1 year of baseball, though. I mean, I played baseball, football, and basketball up to my senior year. Then I chose to, you know, I chose a football scholarship and gave everything else up. Then upon the promoting of my coach for me to go out as a junior in college and play baseball, I did that, and I ended up over in baseball. But I just think that's how it works out. But football was just more my mentality, and it taught me really how to stay focused and how to be a good teammate and how to play hurt. Quite frankly, you get bopped up, you know. And as we know it now, that game has changed as well because of some of the side effects of playing the game too long. So, you know, everything's evolving. And again, I just think want your kid to have fun. Don't make anything too monotonous so it isn't fun.
Simo, what'd you play in high school aside from baseball?
I played basketball and I also played football. I really enjoyed basketball, and I think basketball, as far as the footwork is concerned, helped me become a better outfielder.
Yeah, defensively, the footwork, you got to stay ahead with your feet.
You always have to be in that athletic position. You got to keep your feet moving. Same thing on a fly ball. Keep your feet moving, get behind the ball. There's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, that's why Jones was saying earlier this year that his time as a shortstop in the minor leagues, as a middle infielder, really translated well to the outfield and getting jumps, and the footwork is critical out there as well. You don't think of it as much in the outfield as you do in the infield. Still very important. 3-2 is pounded foul again by Candelario.
The infield, it happens quicker. The outfield, it does happen, though. It's all relative. If you're heading up the gap, you're still trying to get your feet around, get around that ball, so you're coming in at an angle so you can discharge it to wherever it needs to go quickly. I mean, there's change of directions all over the diamond out here that people wouldn't really realize unless they were out there.
Popped up left side of the infield. Profar to the grass, and 2 gone. Here is Chevrolet's most dependable players. We're going to go plural. Most extra base hits prior to the All-Star break by rookies in Tigers history. And look at Nico Goodrum.
He could be up there at the lead by the end of the week. Kemper, number 2. Matt Noakes, his teammate as well. Well, he used to like to pull the ball.
Nico stands in now. You know, we're looking at Lou Whitaker. He won the Rookie of the Year in '78, but he had only 22 total extra base hits that year. So it kind of gives you a perspective on how a guy like Goodrum has really kind of run with his opportunity. And it wasn't defined early in the year. Machado was the Tigers' second baseman.
Now, when Lou came up in, I'm going to say, Double-A with Tram, well, they played the different teams, I think, the year before, and Lou won the Player of the Year, didn't he?
He did.
As a shortstop?
A third baseman.
Third baseman, and then they came in, they moved him, and Tram and Lou went to Montgomery. And then later that season, they were in the big leagues.
Right.
So, I mean, he was a third baseman, thinking, you know, I'm just won Player of the Year as a third baseman, the minor league Player of the Year. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, come on in here and play second base. Oh, you're going to the big leagues. You're going to learn right there where it counts.
But as Tram tells the story, Lou never complained. He just went and did it, and became an all-star second baseman.
And hopefully a Hall of Famer.
Hey, Simo, I wanted to ask you about Dixon Machado because he cleared waivers today and has been outrighted to Toledo. What do you think his future holds.
Well, I'm hoping that he goes down, guys, and works on his swing. He's a guy that's going to be a line drive hitter, and he was just hitting too many pop-ups for me, and I really would like to see him use the whole field.
Goodrum will bounce to Odor, and that will end the inning. 1, 2, 3 in the fourth. We'll go to the fifth here at Comerica. Rain for the sunshine. A gorgeous afternoon here in downtown Detroit. Final game, Tigers Rangers. And right now Texas a 3-0 lead as we go to the fifth. Michael Fulmer back to work. He has seemingly settled in here in the last 2 innings, which is good news. Tigers offense will try and get it going here the rest of this ball game. Profar, Mazzara, Beltre 2, 3, and 4 for the Rangers. That is popped up third base side. Candelario foul ground. 1 gone.
The right fielder, Nomar Mazzara.
It'll bring up Nomar Mazzara.
Yeah, very good inning for Michael. 3 Ks, 3 strikeouts in the fourth. So hoping to build and get stronger. Reverse those numbers of the average and OPS. After the 3rd time through, they're on their 3rd ABs this time through.
Simon, what do you make of the elevated numbers for Fulmer the 3rd time through the lineup?
Well, guys are starting to pick up a trend, I think. You know, when you're able to eliminate pitches, I feel like you give the hitter the advantage. I think he goes to the fastball slider mix, and he's got a lethal changeup. I'd like to see him use that pitch just a little bit more.
Here's the 1-0. You know, we've seen that change up early in the game a little bit here today, but that always seemingly is a pitch that can take a really good pitcher to the next level, because there have been guys in this game that have not been able to master the changeup.
Well, he's got a good one when it's down and it's moving more, just like most changeups do. But I think the combination of the changeup with that 96, 97, I like to see him mix it in inside as well. But again, he's out there, he's busting his tail. James McCann, they've all prepared. And see, he gives up the walk there and frustrated again.
The third baseman, Adrian Beltre.
First time through, 644. You can see that 3rd time through, 924 OPS. And that's pretty consistent, really, for all pitchers, but to an extent, you know, you'll see many organizations live on the fact that they're just going to take their starter out the 3rd time through.
3 walks in the ball game now for Fulmer. It's back-to-back games now in which he's walked 3.
And Gibby, you know this. when you see the more times you see a pitcher, the more comfortable you are in the batter's box. You know how much break is on that slider. You've timed that fastball, so you feel very confident too getting in there that third time in.
This might be a double play, a 5, a 4, and a 3.
Nice.
Not a hard hit ball, but Candelario starts the 5-4-3 inning over. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Tigers trying to get the bats going.
Hats off for heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Tigers batting now in the bottom of the 5th. They're down 3-0 here to the Rangers. It'll be Hicks, Adduci, and Matuk facing Austin Bivens-Dirks, who's been really good.
Boy, he was. The numbers coming in were not favorable for Texas, because Dirks has given up a lot of hits on his fastball, his line drive rate as well. The Tigers only with 2 hits so far, but we know these Tigers strike, and they can strike late.
Hicks fanned in the 2nd. He's 0 for 1, and 5 strikeouts now for the Rangers right-hander, who's 33 years old. Talk about paying your dues. He did not get to the big leagues until he was 32 last season, his first year in the major leagues, and 13 minor league seasons, also a couple of years in independent baseball. A long road to the majors. It'll dive low, 2-1. You will see these stories every now and then in baseball. There's not one direct path to the major leagues, and for Austin Bivens-Dirks, he's taking the long road.
Well, you kind of learn by your mistakes or by your failures, and if you have the desire to stick with it, you can be just like Dirks.
He's going to have to hurry on this play, and Hicks is out, 1 gone. Hey, catch the FIFA World Cup semi-finals on Fox. Pogba and teen sensation Mbappe lead France against Lukaku. Did I get it? Lukaku in Belgium. Coverage begins Tuesday at 1 Eastern on Fox. Stream it live on Fox.
What was that last one?
Oh, don't ask me to repeat it.
Say it twice really fast.
I can't, because yesterday apparently I mispronounced it, and I was just getting killed on Twitter.
Well, you got FIFA right.
FIFA. That's cute. Foul back out of play. 0-1 the count on Adduci. Could those teams just finally play and somebody get eliminated where I don't have to read those names anymore, Chuck? Thank you. Work on that.
One day at a time. Aren't they going down?
They are.
Simo, you big soccer guy?
I'm not. I have not watched any of it, but I know a lot of people are big fans, and watch them and they get excited about soccer.
They do.
My little boys, Kenan and Colin, they want to play soccer, so I'm going to learn a lot about soccer when I get home.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My kids played it when they were youngsters as well.
A lot of running.
1-1, swing and a miss. You know, I think early on, you know, when kids are really young in soccer, all they do is just run the field and try and hit the ball as hard as they can. And then as they get older, they learn to actually play the game. So it's kind of fun to watch the progression on that.
They need to have a diving penalty, though. I mean, seriously. They do some great acting on those.
There's a high fly ball to right. And Mazzara is there. Ducey is out, 2 gone.
Do you agree or disagree on that?
I'll say this. I mean, every sport's got its quirks, and that certainly is one of the quirks of football, as they say around the world, soccer here. But yeah, I mean, when you get 2 guys barely grazing each other and one goes flying and is writhing in pain on the ground.
When he's laying there, then all of a sudden he gets up and sprints away because he's got a breakaway.
2 gone now for Mikey Matuk.
So a place you could fake it here is if you got hit, you walk down, you limp down to first base, right?
Yes.
Act like you had the trainer come out and then first pitch take off, especially with the lefty there. Just take a first pitch, go on the first move. Simo's done that before.
Swing and a miss. Simo, have you ever gotten hit and just kind of lumber down at first, look like you're in pain, and then take off on the first pitch?
Oh yeah, it's the deke move. You gotta trick them. That's what you're trying to do. And it's fun when you catch them.
Here's the 0-2 to Mikey. It'll bounce in. Gibby, I know you've done that a time or two.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But after you get about one free one, and then they know, they always throw over. They know you're doing it. Sometimes you're not faking it, so you just want to make it, whatever you do, you want to make it look confusing to the other team so they can't predict what's going on.
Chop toward third base. Beltre with a running scoop. And Mikey is out. Going to be a 1-2-3 inning. Bibbins Dirks, man, he's just getting her done today. Tires and auto service. Everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And it's the Chevy 4th of July sales event. Celebrate with spectacular deals on a new Chevy. Sun-splashed afternoon here at Comerica Park. The Tigers wrapping up a short 4-game homestand. It's on to Tampa and Houston for the next road trip, butting up to the All-Star break. Right now it's 3-0 in favor of the Rangers.
Staying in the game, got to keep that way, and it's like a horse race. You just kind of stand and drafting and waiting for our opportunity, then go.
Little chopper, left side of the infield, tough play, and Iglesias throws him out. What a play by Iggy.
Very good play, going to his right, throwing back across the diamond to the left. So it's hard to get anything on it, number one, let alone look how accurate it is. It's right there. It's on the money. Iglesias has really excelled here after a slow start in this season. Got him easy.
I would tend to agree. It seems the toughest part about that play is getting anything on the throw.
Arm strength.
And not to mention the accuracy, as you pointed out. So Iglesias has had a Gold Glove caliber season this year. In fact, his ultimate zone rating, which measures how many runs a shortstop will save compared to the average player, is second only to Andrelton Simmons this year. And we all know that he's pretty much a wizard, but Iglesias right there has made some nice plays. Joey Gallo, the batter.
Yeah, you'd have to give Iggy probably as the top guy in the Tigers infield for that, and the top outfielder would be Jacoby. In both left and center combined, I believe he's saved 16 this year. That's right up there at the top in baseball.
Strike called, and he got him looking. Gallo is punched out. 2 gone now, and we say hi one more time to Matt Shepard.
Mario, you guys were just talking about Gold Glove material. Nobody did it better in Detroit's outfield in history than Al Kaline. I had a chance to talk with a Hall of Famer about Jacoby Jones's catch last night, and Al Kaline was even amazed. Talked about the jump on the baseball, the fact that he is able to time the baseball so correctly, and his athleticism, of course, is key, no doubt about that. He also said that when he saw that catch, even he jumped out of his seat. I also talked to Dave Clark before the game about Jacoby Jones's potential. Guys, he says elite level defense.
Whoa.
If he continues to work at this level, elite level, which backs up what Craig Monroe has said for a long time and what Kirk Gibson has said, Gold Glove potential in the future.
Here's a shattered bat roll to short, running scoop. Iglesias, another fine play, and a 1-2-3 6th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th.
Kevin Pillar, who's known as a very good center fielder in Toronto. This was last week. He went up and over. And Jacoby was playing, you can see the StatCast sprints speed of 25 We covered 100 feet, and this is last night. 24.2 feet a second and 98 feet and up and over. I don't know, could you pick one or the other? But both very good at what they do out there defensively. And obviously taking away a run there. That's a defensive run save, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And I think the cool thing about that Pilar catch wasn't cool for Castellanos, but the very next day, as McCann stands in and shoots one in the air to center field, it's going to be caught on a dive there by Tochi. Pretty good play right there.
Very good.
I was going to say the very next day, Castellanos went out and had a chat with Pilar, and they talked about some defensive strategies. Meanwhile, Tochi says, I can play a little bit too.
Good jump, good break. The thing about it is, in these catches, you got to set up with your feet where you're going to catch the ball at. Because if you get it in a spot, you kind of get jammed on yourself. You have to be able to move your hand and your arm to adjust at the last second, because you don't really know exactly where you're going to catch it. So if you don't put yourself in good position, many times you don't catch it and it goes by you. Tochi right there with good technique.
Iglesias the batter. Jose knocked into a double play back in the third.
Thanks for reminding me.
It's a -2. It'll bounce in 1-1. What in your mind has Austin Bivens-Dirks done today to keep the Tigers so off balance?
Well, he's changing speeds. He's got his fastball, just a little bit of late life on it. He's got the cutter, and he's working with his change. He's just executing his pitches, most of them down in the zone and on the corners.
Jose Leclerc warming up. Swing and a miss.
That's just a little cutter right there, right down the way, staying out of the middle of the plate. Gummy.
Here's the 1-2. Slap into the air to center. That one's going to drop in front of Tochi. Went up top and got it. And he wide turned by Iglesias.
Well, this Iggy, good job right here. Bivens-Dirks gets the ball up. You can see it's a two-seamer. Runs in on him. Iggy just steers it out to right center. The Tigers got a base runner. Not had many. Good hard turn right there, even though you're down by 3.
Here's Victor Reyes. Bivens-Dirks has not had a pitch from the stretch all that often today. That'll get away from the catcher, advance the runner.
Take a look right here. Iggy reading this well. Bivens-Dirks yanks that one. The left and unable to get it down to second. Just get the pump going here. Let's get a run in.
It was a wild pitch. The 1-0. 2-0 on Reyes. Victor getting the start in the outfield today in right field. Rolled foul.
Here you got your changeup right there. You're wondering what he's doing. It's down in the zone. The changeups, if they leave them up, you still have a chance. If you lunge but leave your hands back, you want to keep your hands back. The way Nicholas Castellanos described it was you leave your hands back with your back hip. And if it's up, you can still hammer it. But when it's down, you're just not going to get anything out of it. You're going to hit it into the ground or off the end of the bat.
High ball 3.
Well, there was a high changeup right there, but that's what we call overhung. If that one comes down the middle of the plate, those are the ones you can hammer.
Jones on deck, the top of the lineup. He walked in ball 4. It's a walk to the number 9 hitter. 2 on now for the Tigers.
Here's the 1-800 call Sam, call the game. Just been looking. This is the opening day lineup for the Tigers, and who is not here by now? It's changed quite a bit. Miggy's out. Candy's in. Nick's out with hurt right now. Victor's got a day off. Mikey's in. Iglesias. Tixon Machado's gone. And then let's look at who we got the new lineup. Look at how much it's changed. And then there's a surprise of the year so far, I would say, Nico. What did you say?
Nico, to be sure.
And Victor Reyes. We got to get to a break here. We'll look at more when we come back.
Here is Jacoby Jones now. The Tigers bring the tying run to the plate here in the 6th inning. And Jacoby looks at a sweeping breaking ball for ball 1. A single by Iglesias, a walk to Reyes with 1 out. Ending the day for Bibbins Dirks. And Jones checked it, strike called, 1-1.
There's our Wallside Windows pitching change. Jose Leclerc, 33rd game. He's got 9 holds, ERA of 2.35. Respectable. Opponent's only hitting 139. You can see he's got a nice loose arm. Dropped that breaking ball in.
Went up top with him, 1-2.
Let's take a look at the outfielders. Very shallow. Get a gapper here. We're going to score 2.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Jacoby pops it up foul, back out of play. By the way, that walk for Reyes, his first walk of the season. 81 at bats.
Well, he's aggressive. We know that. But, you know, he's gotten a chance to play a little bit lately. We were talking about our lineups, how it's changed.
Swing and a miss, and Jones is out.
Let's just go back there quickly. See Nico right there. We were talking about him and Reyes. Now he's a Rule 5 guy, which means if you want to keep him, he has to be on the big league roster all year. So would he normally be there? He's probably not ready yet, but because he's been, what, 6 years in the organization, he became a Rule 5 candidate. So I think he's been a pretty good pick so far, and he has athleticism, and the Tigers next year will have him in their organization again, should they keep him the rest of the year, which I'm pretty sure they will.
Yeah, the Tigers had the top selection in the Rule 5 draft, and they selected Reyes based on his potential, and we're starting to see a little bit of that now. He can run.
From Arizona.
Correct. 0-1 on Candelario. Strikeout and a pop-up. He'll dive low, blocked by Kiner Falefa.
If you look at Leclerc right here, he's got a huge glove, but I think he changes his grip very late.
Only 13% of his inherited runners have scored this year. And that's the one stat that I think when you look at guys that come in the middle of innings and they are called in to clean up a mess, that is a huge and telling stat.
Inherited runners?
For me it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, certainly when you're at this stage of the season, you know, we're halfway, over halfway. Heck, you're going to be almost at 100 games by the time the break comes at the end of the week.
Here's the 1-2. Candy takes outside, 2-2.
No hits in 23 at bats with runners in scoring position in his last 23 at bats. Wouldn't it be something, huh?
Right here, break that string.
And he's grinding. This kid is really grinding. He's trying to figure it out. You get frustrated, just like Michael Fulmer got a little frustrated that one inning. Give him some success.
Here's the 2-2. Rolled foul. You know, that is the one thing you can say about Candelario, even through his struggles, which have gone on now for the better part of three weeks or so. It's not like he's up there giving away at bats and being frustrated and making early outs. He will still grind you to a 3-ball count in most at bats.
Some may say or speculate too much at sometimes, you know,
yeah,
because he really is patient. Maybe he's let a couple good ones go by.
Swing and a miss. He chased it up top to end the inning, and Leclerc comes on and strands 2 more. We'll go to the 7th.
Stop the other team from scoring runs and getting on base. Iglesias right here. How about going to his right and then coming in? Look at his eyes right on that glove right there. He's got such great hands-eye coordination and on the run. Couple good plays last inning. Tigers set him down 1-2-3, looking to do so again. And He's so playful. You see him come in, he's proud of it, and he likes to have fun. Rub it in. Yeah, I enjoy that.
Michael Fulmer, meanwhile, has really gotten his pitch count in much better shape. He's had 3 really fairly quick innings. Helped up by a double play in the 5th. He's got Guzman to lead things off here. And he went around 0-2. Tochi and then Shin-Soo Choo. Fouled away. Rangers got 1 in the 1st, home run by Profar, and then 2 more in the 2nd. They've led 3-0 most of the day. You know, Fulmer's one of those guys that, for reasons that you can't explain, doesn't get much run support. Only a little over 3 runs of support per start this year.
Well, he will at some point in his career if he keeps throwing the ball like he's capable of throwing.
Served to left field, a base hit, the 2nd of the game for Guzman. Let's bring in Matt Shepard down.
Mario, to your point, Michael Fulmer has allowed 2 runs or fewer in 18 or 8, I should say, of his 17 starts. He's pitched well enough to win, but he's had that one bugaboo. What's it been? It's been that 1 inning. Remember Cincinnati, Oakland, and then Chicago, for example. This is a guy who doesn't get a lot of run support, but he also understands this is about wins, and he only has 3 of them. He feels like he's close, and we've heard that before. Justin Verlander, 2016, right? Well, he thought really today would be the day. It's not that he has lost any confidence, Mario. It's just that you can gain the frustration when talking to him. Here's a guy who only has 3 wins, but he's only won twice in his last 7 starts, and that's starting to eat away at him a little bit. Maybe it was that 2nd inning today, but he's pitched well enough to win yet again today. But I know he's getting tired of that phrase when I tell him that.
Absolutely, Shep. I couldn't agree with you more. It's frustrating, and hopefully he catch a break.
Carlos Tochi is the batter. Trying to bunt the runner up, missing up high, snap throw. You know, through analytics now, we're learning that obviously wins for a pitcher is not a stat that is awfully important anymore. The secondary numbers have become more important, but still, I think if you're a starting pitcher, you still want to see a pretty high number in that win column.
Well, I can tell you they may not, as a way of measuring a pitcher, that may not be the case, but if you're the guy out there in the mound, psychologically,
right, exactly,
you're expecting to win. And it feels a lot better, and you're going to gain more confidence from winning, not looking at the peripheral numbers.
Stump and Farmer warming up. A popped up bunt, so Tochi unable to advance the runner. One and 2 on Tochi. Strikeout, and he was called out on interference earlier in the game. He's taking a long look down at 3rd now, where Tony Beasley is flashing signs. Doubt they would have him bunt with 2 strikes. Really don't see much of that unless you're a pitcher in the National League. Slice to right field, and that'll go foul. One and 2 on Carlos Tochi, who is a Rule 5 selection himself. We've talked of Victor Reyes having to stick with the big club all year to remain in the organization. Same with Tochi, a Rule 5 pick. At .294 last year in the minor leagues. He's already made a nice diving play in center field in this one. Did not go. He held up.
Just kind of reviewing the scorebook right here. Michael, like you said, the last 3 innings prior to the hit, he's been really money, and he had the 1 walk and he had the double play. Just doing a little study here on where the pitches were outside and inside. It's It's kind of hard to look at it now and second guess because
struck him out. One gone. Fans, all-you-can-eat party suites are on sale now. 20-person suites include game tickets plus great ballpark fare like hot dogs, chicken tenders, pizza, and a whole lot more starting at $3,500. If you'd like tickets, call 313-471-BALL or visit tigers.com for more information. Shin-Soo Choo will stand in.
Well, here's a guy, if you looked at his spray chart, likes everything third out over the plate.
Pulled on one hop to Goodrum, who knocks it down. They'll go to second one, and the relay is in time, a double play.
Well, he's really hurt. He's not running at all.
He's been bothered by a bad quad, and he was an easy double play. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch in a 3-0 game. Seven pitches in the first 2 innings, only 52 cents. Profire's homer to this game, and Gibby, the Tigers offense pretty much has been stifled today.
It really has. They haven't had a lot of opportunities. One time they had the runner, they had a double play, a couple of strikeouts in the last inning. They're 0 for 2. They've only runners in scoring position, so not a lot going on. However, they're only down 3-0, well within range for this offense, and got to keep playing tight, and hopefully they can get something going, catch a break. And this is one of those games where you come back and they've led the whole game, and you just jump them in the bottom of the 8th. 3 outs by Joe in the 9th, and the Tigers get a victory. That's what I'm predicting.
Well, you got to love the way Michael Fulmer has turned around his start today. Obviously, it was a little bumpy in the first couple of innings, but so far so good the rest of the way.
There you see, talking to the pitching coach right there, Mr. Anderson. He did a good job. We could see he was frustrated a couple times. We showed it, but he really recovered and did a good job and got his pitches where they needed to be pitched at and shut him down and given the Tigers a chance to come back and win this game.
Well, we'll see if the Tigers can do here in the 7th. They have Nico Goodrum coming up. It'll be Goodrum and then Hicks and then a Ducey. Leclerc is still out there. He came on to strand 2 runners in the 6th, striking out Jones and Candelario. Nico is 0 for 2, fly out and a ground out. Only 3 Tigers hits in this game. Ball 1 to Goodrum. Nico, a 4-hit game yesterday. He's had 2 4-hit games this month. Rolled foul.
Tell you what, Texas got Austin Bidman's Turks out of there quick, didn't they?
Yeah, first sign of trouble.
Yeah, first sign of trouble here, and then they got rid of him right there in the spot of the 6th inning.
That's when Leclerc came on and got the 2 strikeouts. Fouled out of play, 1-2 on Nico. Goodrum came in batting .464 in the month of July. Here's the 1-2. Floats outside, 2-2 on Goodrum.
Clerk throws a lot of those high breaking balls out of the zone. As a hitter, you tend to give up on him. He's pitched in parts of seasons for the Rangers for this is his 3rd year.
And he got Goodrum on strikes. 1 gone here in the 7th. Well, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Brought to you by Miller Lite. 3 batters faced, 3 strikeouts for Leclerc. Hicks strikeout, ground out.
Yeah, he's that breaking ball he's throwing is he's throwing that to all the fastball hitters the Tigers have. See if he tries to drop another one in there. There it is. He knows Hicks is a first pitch fastball swinger. Lefties are hitting 161 against Leclerc, 129 for the righties, and really kind of consistent with what he did last year. So Tigers got their work cut out for him. Buck Farmer warming up for the Tigers.
Ball high. Leclerc called up from AAA on April the 30th. He was on the opening day roster. This is his 3rd stint with the big club this year. Fouled away. Tigers so far with 3 hits, a single by Jones in the 1st, a single by McCann in the 3rd, and they got a single by Iglesias in the 6th.
Probably going to bounce it.
Swing and a miss.
Got good arm motion on that slider right there.
That is 4 strikeouts now for Leclerc and 4 batters.
He's quite a bit. The Ram picked the stick update.
Oh boy.
Oh boy,
Oh
Rod.
boy.
I got, let's see, Mickey. He's the only guy.
With a positive 1.
The only guy. A lot of minuses today. Make all that ground up and then you get knocked down. You got to get back up. Mickey's kind of enjoying his fame right now, this pick the stick fame, but he's got no trophy yet.
Yeah, he's enjoying it all right.
Yeah.
He even made the comment the other day that nobody will catch him the rest of the way.
Well, he's not that far ahead, is he?
No, we shall see. 1-2 on a Ducey.
He's got a 1-day lead.
Strikeout flyout for Jim Adducey.
Really pronunciating that well today.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Adducey.
No bite. Still beautiful out. 83 degrees. Sun shining. Moved right off of that deuce right into the weather.
And a bit outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Should Adducey reach, Matuk would be next.
Somebody's got to start it off, huh?
I know. Let's get some runners here. Bounce again now, 3-2 on Adducci. Tigers' best scoring chance was in the 6th, single and a walk. With only 1 out, but then Leclerc came on and struck out Jones and Candelario.
And Nico and John Hicks struck out to start the 7th. Ducey trying to get on base here.
And he will. It's a walk with 2 outs. That'll bring up Matuk. They're getting in touch with the bullpen out in left field. Strikeout and a ground out for Matuk. This will be the 30th pitch now for Leclerc. And he drops in a breaking ball. Another one, strike call. Now it's 0-2.
Yeah, you can tell these guys are sticking to their scouting report. Jacoby's seen a lot of break balls. Hicks, Mikey. Much better fastball hitters.
Hibbins Dirks went 5 2/3 before Leclerc came on, and he is working now here in the 7th as well. He went up top after 2 breaking balls, and Matuk was not going to bite.
Well, he's going to get another hook.
Last fastball at 94. There is the activity.
Kind of a lively arm, quick arm, sneaky fast.
Jake Diekman warming up in their bullpen. Swing and a miss. He went right back up there and struck him out. He is fan 5 in this game. On our way to the 8th, where Jurickson Profar is going to lead things off. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
Know your own power. Jurickson Profar in the 1st inning. I believe it was on a slider out over the plate. Went yard. And right now that stands as the game-winning run. Tigers trail 3-0 as we're at the top of the 8th.
So it'll be Profar, Mazzara, and Beltre. The Tigers have been unable to get the offense going. Now with Michael Fulmer out of the game and a wall sign windows pitching change, it's going to be Buck Farmer.
Well, Buck kind of settling into his role. Bridge guy, long guy at times. 42nd game today. A lot of appearances. Just kind of spent more time up here this year with the Tigers than he has in the past. He's been up and down and kind of settling in nicely. Doing a very good job for the Tigers as of late. That's a lot of games, you know, for this kid at this point of the season.
He also is coming off a really good month of June in which his ERA was under 1. I think most guys, Gibby, want to be starting pitchers in the league, and you know, when you find a niche, I don't know, maybe Farmer is beginning to find his as a reliever.
Yeah, he was back and forth, starter, reliever, starter, reliever. Now he's just relieving.
Popped it up out of play. 2-1 on Jurickson Profar.
And you got to give Tigers front office some credit, because when they needed to get somebody stretched out, who'd they switch? They went to Blaine Hardy,
right,
who's really excelled in that role. And if somebody should move off of this squad in a trade, Blaine Hardy could be right back in there. So they're always trying to figure out. Buck's been in the organization for some time, and I think they feel like they've got him where he needs to be to help the club to the best of his abilities.
Out of Conyers, Georgia, and Georgia Tech University. Here's the 3-1. Profar hits it in the air toward left field. On the move is Matuk. Still coming. Foul ground, makes the running catch. Nice play, Mikey.
Nice play, right? Is right. It's come a long way. You're coming up on the fence right there. Keep your eye on it, and then you got to slow down. You can start to feel that gravel underneath your feet. So obviously, when you feel that, you know you're getting close, and you're told to. Your mind is saying slow down, but at the same time, you want to catch the ball, so you run through that fear. Good job, Mikey.
Now Nomar Mazara. Well, the Rangers got 3 early runs, but it's not like they've been tearing the cover off the ball either. They only have 5 hits in this game, which is a testament to the adjustments that Fulmer made, and going after the first 2 innings really pitched well. But it's been the old bugaboo in that the Tigers have not been able to support him with much offense. Today, 0 runs. Two walks for Mazara. One and 2. Mazara, good looking young hitter, only 23 years old. Having a fabulous year with 56 RBIs. That'll dive low. 2 and 2.
Want to get that first out or second out of the inning right now. Don't want to let them get anybody on base. Had no trouble here for 4 innings or so. Let's keep it that way. Get the Tigers back up to bat. Hopefully they break out.
3-2 on Mazara. You've got Beltre waiting on deck, the cleanup hitter, who's probably glad that Fulmer's out of the game. Fulmer struck him out twice and got him to hit into a double play. Way outside, ball 4.
Well, Michael Fulmer is out of the game. Buck Farmer's in, but he's had a pretty productive day. How did it start? A little bit of frustration. Ball out over the plate. Jurickson Profar in the first inning. Walk right there, and Michael was showing some frustrations. It seemed like he was throwing a lot of balls away and not having good success. And he started to mix it in a little bit, and he started to get more consistent outs. Finished up with 4 Good innings. Our Xfinity high-speed pitch of 98 miles an hour and low of 84. So overall, a very shaky first couple of innings, but then he really got it together and finished strong. And hopefully, we're hoping that the Tigers will score 4 runs, get him off the hook, spit it.
Well, Farmer just threw up and in on Beltray, and that's going to bring McCann out to the mound.
Yeah, he's nothing intentional there. But nobody likes this. This is a, this looks breaking ball actually. And see the way Adrian Beltre turned away. That's what you want to practice if you're playing this game and you're young. You want to turn away, get that shoulder up to protect your face.
Daniel Stump is still warming up in the bullpen. You got Odor who's lefty. You got Gallo who's lefty. They are coming up next. Line to center field. That's going to drop. Base hit. And now 2 men on for the Rangers here in the 8th. That's going to be it with the 2 lefties coming up, and it's going to be Daniel Stump, it appears, coming out of the Tigers pen after the walk and the single. So Daniel being summoned out of the pen. Pitching change here at Comerica. We'll be back. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Back here in downtown Detroit, Tigers wrap up this short homestand. They're down 3-0 to the Rangers. And now Daniel Stump coming out of the bullpen for the Tigers. You got 2 men on with 1 man out. Rougned Odor will stand in.
Daniel just reinstated from the disabled list prior to Monday. Been on the DL with irritation in his ulnar nerve, but 5 rehab appearances with AAA. He's been doing good. Ready to go. He got a Wallside Windows pitching change. 31st game for Daniel. Walks are a little bit too high, but looking to find it.
Odor has actually been pretty good against left-handed pitching this year. 273 compared to 217 against righties.
Yeah, he's better. 222 with runners in scoring position. But Stump is better than against lefties and righties. So, you know, what one do you look at? That's
right.
kind of what the manager has to look at. Just because somebody's got reverse splits, Odor, a left-handed hitter.
2-1. Another lefty on deck, Joey Gallo. Rangers lead 3-0 here in the 8th. Missed again, 3-1 on Odor. Rugned with an infield single. He is 1 for 3. He's got some pop. 30 or more homers each of the last 2 years for Texas. Inside, he's going to walk him to load the bases.
If you're Ron Gardner, you have no choice right here. He's got to see what Stumper can do.
Tigers head to Florida tomorrow. A 3-game series against the Rays coming up. Join us beginning at 6 for Tigers Live right here on Fox Sports Detroit. 3 against the Rays and then 3 against the Astros heading to the All-Star break. So here is Gallo now with the bases full.
Gallo hitting under 200 on the year. 176 lefty, 195 righty, but it doesn't matter if you're not going to throw a strike.
Ball 1 to Gallo.
We were talking, you think about Gallo when he hits the ball. 53% of the time, over half the time is in the air. 36% of the time he strikes out.
Ground ball towards second, could be 2. They'll flip to second 1 and a double play. Oh, Stump got a big one just in the nick of time. Inning over. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers still down by 3. Well, the Tigers dodged some trouble as Joey Gallo hits into his first double play of the year.
That's amazing. You were talking about that, huh? He did this first one.
Big power hitters usually knock into some double plays, but that just talks of his launch angle. Wall side windows change now. Jake Diekman is on for the Rangers.
Diekman tall, 6'4" or so. Good velocity. But you just, out of curiosity, when we were preparing today, said, you know, Gallo doesn't have a double play. And we were looking at all the numbers, and I gave you a couple of them. It doesn't make sense, and it really doesn't. But good call on the day.
Yeah, but boy, the Tigers needed that with the bases loaded, 1 out, and the first double play for Gallo was a huge one. 1 ball, 1 strike on McCann. Bottom 3 coming up here against Diekman. Mack is 1 for 2, and he looks at the ball outside, 2-1. Little high, 3-1 now on McCann.
Need a runner.
Leclerc struck out 5 in 2 2/3.
Get that guy out of the game.
Way outside, ball 4, and there's your base runner.
Well, let's just go back, and I want to show you what shifts do for the double play. Look at right here, Iglesias. He's well out of position. He's usually over here coming this way. We'll go ahead and run it. Gallo has no double plays, and he has to get over there quickly. He's a second baseman all of a sudden. He doesn't play second base, but that was very well done. Way to handle the shift, and you know, is one of the reasons that he doesn't hit into double plays because they do play the shift, or is it just all the fly balls that he hits?
Well, I didn't think about the shift aspect. That could be, but all the fly balls, I'm sure, has a lot to do with it. Strike 1 on Iglesias. That could be the huge turning point in this game if the Tigers can string together a couple of hits now.
They gave themselves a chance, absolutely.
0-2 on Iggy. Single and a double play ball for Iglesias. In the air to shallow center field, and Tochi will run it down. MLB at Bat is your #1 Detroit Tigers app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Tigers home screen icons, features such as MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, and a whole lot more. Download MLB at Bat today. One away now for Victor Reyes, who is 0 for 1 with a walk.
Like to see him get a hold of one.
Strike 1 on Reyes. Victor came in .338 over his last 18 games. Starting in right field today. Just missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Victor.
You can see better at bats as of late through May 17th. Struck out 32% of the time since then. Average way up. Less strikeouts.
Bouncing ball to short, could be 2. There's 1 relay, there's 2. It's a double play, 6-4-3 to end the inning. No runs, a walk, nobody left. Let's go to the 9th.
much like yesterday, early offense has been the story today, unfortunately for the wrong team.
Yes, Mick. Bibbins Dirks was outstanding today. I really want you guys to stick around for the post-game show. I'm going to tell you exactly why he was so effective against the Tigers offense today.
Yeah, we saw some frustrations out of Michael Fulmer this afternoon as well. We'll ask him about that after the game and how much of this Tigers offense missed Nicholas Castellanos this afternoon. Ron Gardenhire's thoughts on that and the latest on Nick's wrist injury coming up immediately following the game on Tigers Live. Mario Gibby.
All right, boys, thank you. As we go to the ninth, the Tigers go back to the bullpen. It's going to be youngster Victor Alcantara coming in.
Second appearance. It's being recalled from AAA Toledo. You can see his numbers within Toledo right there. Whip of 1.15. It's only 6 walks, so he's throwing a lot of strikes, a lot of strikeouts. 2.68 ERA coming in.
Alcantara, born in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. He's got Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to lead things off. And Alcantara throws a strike.
Falefa got his bat sawed off in one of his at-bats today. See if the Tigers try and keep it inside on him.
1 for 3 for Kiner-Falefa. Alcantara came up in the Angels system. He was acquired in the deal that sent Cameron Maben to the Angels in November of 16. Now the 1-1. Chopped the third foul.
It's an interesting batting stance right there. Who's the most unique stance from a Tiger that you remember, Mario?
Dick McAuliffe for me. If you want to go back to the
How about
70s.
John Walkenfuss?
Oh, you know what? That's even better, actually. Yeah, Walkenfuss.
And he stands way open for Falefa.
Mickey Tettleton had a bit of a different stance, too.
Yes.
Here's the 2-2. Outside, 3-2.
Seems like it would be hard to have all that movement. If you look at all the movement here, he's got to come in. He's got a big leg kick, but he's done well. No, they like him. Could see some movement. You see hitters hit the ball to the ground like that. The Rangers did a good job of that today against the Tigers. What do they have, 2 or 3 double plays against us?
Yeah, a couple of them.
Late life.
Little chopper up the middle. Iglesias says no problem, 1 gone. Upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows. On our way to Florida, where Francisco Liriano and Chris Archer will do battle tomorrow night.
Going inside, huh?
Indoors to the Trop.
Francisco's throwing the ball well really all year for the Tigers. He'll there's interest in him around the league. They'll be watching him. And Chris Archer, frontline pitcher, 3 and 4 on the year. Coverage begins at 6. A-team will be there.
What do you mean the A-team?
That's what I call you guys, the A-team.
1-0 Guzman. Rod Allen right now is actually in Florida and is hanging out on the beach waiting for the Tigers to arrive.
I know he is.
Yeah.
I hope he's enjoying the heat because it's hot down there. My goodness.
Yeah, but it'll be 70 degrees and perfect inside the dome.
Yeah, with 4 catwalks to navigate and
That's
catch
right.
every fly ball. That's an interesting ground rules. Make sure you read them before the game, huh?
Got to study up.
As a manager, I mean, really, they're very unique because they have those little circle walks that support the dome. And the one that you got to play it on like it's live. The other one's automatic home run.
Slice to center field. And it's going to drop. It's going to be a 3-hit game for Guzman.
Almost got there. Look how he puts that glove out front and scoops towards it. That's what you got to do.
You know what's impressive about Guzman today is every one of his hits have either been to left or to center field.
Well, ball's away. He likes to get those big arms out. He had like
strike call.
2 check swing hits over to left field earlier. You got to give him credit.
A knock is a knock. Now the 0-1. Tochi behind in the count.
This is where Andy is thinking about just keeping a nice low strike right here and trying to get that double play, because you're a hitter, you're going to expand a little bit within the zone.
In there, strike call. Tochi is toast.
Or that. Tochi is toast.
2 away.
Perfect. Right on the corner. Borderline down, borderline away.
Kella and Chavez warming up in the bullpen. We saw Kella save game 1. Well, Shin-Soo Choo now is standing in with his on base streak on the line here.
It is 40. Was it 45 games? 46.
46. Which is tied for the franchise record for the Rangers. In there, a strike call.
Well, let's look at the hot cold zone. I mean, he likes the ball out over the plate. You can see here all in the red. Here, not so much. Jam him. Give him a jammy sandwich.
Chop slowly toward third. Candelario running scoop, has no play, and how about that? It's going to be an infield single.
He was running on that one.
And Choo, sore quad or not, was going to get that base hit, and that extends his streak.
Gee, good pitch. Really nothing you can do. Just the way, look at. You think he tried to do that? It kind of looked like it from that angle, didn't it? Very smart to hold on to that baseball. Because he knew he had no chance. Nobody's at third right there. You can see Iglesias running from second to stop.
47 straight games now that Choo has reached safely. And here is Jurickson Profar. Two on and 2 out in a 3-0 game.
This guy's dangerous.
Driven to center field. Jones on the run to the warning track. That'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It'll be the top of the order coming up. Jones, Candelario, and Goodrum. It'll be Jacoby Jones to lead things off for the Tigers.
Maybe think about a bunt. Pretty good pitcher on the mound. We saw him the other night. Keone Kela, the closer. 33 games this season. 21 for 21 on save opportunities. So he's due for a disappointment and a win for the tie.
That's right.
He's due for a disappointment.
Let's make him disappointed. There's a strike called on Jones.
He's got a fastball 98 and he's got a bitter 12-6 curveball.
Strike called on 0-2, and Jacoby not so sure.
That had plenty of plate.
Here's the 0-2. Shot foul, back out of play.
When you take a pitch and it's 98, it has a little different sound than 88, 92. I think when you get over 96, 97, the hiss comes.
1-2. Jacoby is singled in 3 at-bats. 21 straight saves for Kela. Way high. He overthrew that one. Now the count is 2-2.
The other night he had a good breaking ball. Hopefully that's a good sign for the Tigers that he doesn't today. Because you got a chance. If he gets that breaking ball over like he did the other night, that's a very tough task.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Jones fans, 1 gone.
That's nasty. Just got done looking at 98, 98. Missed a curve. Watch how hard he pulls down that.
Wow.
You could almost see that's a great shot. You can see the strain on his wrist, on his forearm, probably his elbow.
Here is Candelario. Candy pops it up, foul ground. On the move is Beltre for out number 2.
Well, you can see why Kela's so good. He just comes right at you. He's dominating firmness. And now you're Candy and you see the breaking ball, so that's in the back of your head too. You almost have to pick a fastball and hope he doesn't throw the curveball.
Here is Nico Goodrum. Nico is 0 for 3 today. Ball 1.
Popping the glove, isn't he?
Popping the glove and grunting. Every pitch. Drilled to center field and a base hit. Nico keeps it alive with a single.
There's a quick bat for you right there. There's the grip. Little 4-seamer. Boom. Made it look easy, didn't he?
You know, we have learned one thing. Nico can hit a fastball.
Very sharp, very short. But the key to a guy that throws that hard in a way you cannot try and pull the pitch, because it's not going to happen.
John Hicks, now that is only the 4th Tigers hit of the game, and their first since the 6th inning. In there, a strike call, and that is the first ball put in play by the Tigers that has gone over 100 miles an hour in exit velocity in this game. And it comes here in the 9th inning. They were just kept off balance by Bibbins Dirks, the starter. Now it's 1-2.
That was a double grunt, wasn't it?
Double grunt, yep. Oop, oop.
Maybe he tips his pitches that way. Maybe the double grunt's a fastball and one grunt's a curveball.
You still don't have much time to react, though, do you? He checked, did he go? Did not.
You see that? One grunt, and it was a curveball.
You may have picked something up here.
You know, we've talked about it over the time. When a guy throws 100 miles an hour, it's really a blink of an eye, the time it takes for the ball to get there.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out to end the ball game. And the Tigers and Rangers will end up with a split in this 4-game series. Now he's sent into the Coliseum Studios. Mickey York with Tigers Live postgame.
All right, Mario, thank you. It was a sleepy Sunday for the Tigers offense. We'll show you why. Michael Fulmer good again today, but where he felt he could have been better, we'll hear from him. Ron Gardenhire and how much the Tigers missed Nick Castellanos today, and the latest on his wrist injury. And we look ahead to the Tigers' final road trip before the All-Star break next on Tigers Live.